Greetings, children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, and guys, I know I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, but I absolutely had to talk about it, because this movie is a bloody hell of a good time, and holy shit, that sounded way cringier saying it out loud than it did in my head, especially because I can't be the first one to make that joke. Fuck it! Roll the opening! Bloody Hell was originally released in 2020, rated R, coming in at 93 minutes, directed by Alistair Grierson, with a screenplay by Robert Benjamin, and a cast that includes Ben O'Toole, Meg Fraser, Caroline Craig, Matthew Sutherland, Travis Jeffrey, Jack Finsterer, and David Hill. Right on, guys, so I'm not making any illusions about it. I absolutely loved this movie. I enjoyed just about every single thing about it, so as I go into this, there will definitely be spoilers, but I'm going to keep it down to kind of light spoilers, so if you haven't had a chance to check this movie out yet, then you can dive back into it yourself and find something for yourself to appreciate that I haven't just ruined in this video where I'm jerking this movie off. It's gonna be that kind of video, so let's first talk about the basic plot of the movie. The movie is about Rex, a guy who one day goes into his local bank, more so to hit on the bank teller than to actually perform any business. By the way, guys, I shouldn't have to say this, it should go without saying, but I'm saying it anyway. Don't hit on ladies at work, or guys, if that's what you're into. Don't do it, okay? It's not cool. They're obligated to be nice to you. So no matter how nice they're being, when they say no to you, that's a no, because you're already being a dick, okay? Anyway, moving forward, he goes to the bank to hit on the bank teller, and while he's there, some guys come in to rob the bank, and he just snaps and goes absolute frickin' John McClane Rambo on these guys and slaughters all of them. However, in the course of doing this, an innocent person gets killed. So afterwards, while some people consider him to be a hero, he is put on trial and sent to prison for 8 years. After getting out of prison, because of the fact that there was this controversy about his trial, whether he's a hero or not, the paparazzi is all over him, and so he decides to flee the country. How does he decide where to go? Well, while he was in prison, he used spitballs and shot spitballs at a map, and 3 times in a row it hit Finland, so he goes to Finland. And when he gets to Finland, he pretty much immediately gets kidnapped by a family of cannibals who have a crazy, deformed, Leatherface-esque son. He doesn't wear other people's faces, but you get the idea. He's, mentally diminished, and he's a cannibal. You get the point. Anyway, they kill people and feed them to their son, because the only thing that he's ever wanted to eat is human flesh. Go figure, Finland. And so Home Dude Rex gets kidnapped. However, while he is there, he does actually manage to start a weird relationship with one of the daughters of this family who doesn't agree with what her family does, and even at one point in the movie says that she's always just been waiting for someone to come and take her away from them. And so at this point, he basically starts trying to figure out how to escape and murder them all. So that is the basic plot of the movie. As I said, I'm not going to go any further into massive details. There might be a few other little spoilers here and there throughout the video, but as I said, the setup, the premise is all a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend you check it out. So yeah, guys, the plot is really fun, it's a really great setup, it's a really great idea, and it's executed extremely well. So, moving on, in terms of the general look of the film in general looks really, really good. Again, I haven't done any extra work looking into what the budget of this movie is, but it seems fairly low budget, and they definitely got their money's worth. I really appreciate the fact that this film has 2 separate visual looks to it. Whenever we're in America or the beginning of the film, or anytime we do flashbacks to that period of the film, things are, for lack of a better expression, they're much flatter. Like when you're in the bank, there's this very kind of docu-style feel, and it just feels like they're using the fluorescent lights that are there. When you're in the prison scenes, there's a darker feel, but it's still very flat, and very much true of the kind of courtroom scenes that they have. Even though you're getting shots that would never be on kind of like court TV or like news broadcasting of courtrooms, that's still kind of the feel you get in terms of the lighting and the overall setup. But then whenever we go to Europe, when we go to Finland, they're darker, but they're also more vibrant and they're more rustic and in some ways a lot more kind of creepily homey. It does a really good job of invoking the kind of visual that we think of in terms of classical dark fairy tales, which is something that I think they were going for based on the kind of taglines on some of the posters. All in all, the film looks really fantastic and has a really great style, not just in terms of the shots they use, but also the editing that is employed with those shots and the way that it strings all the different events together. The film just looks good and has a lot of style. In terms of the cast of the film, it is also extremely solid. Now, there are people in this movie that I've seen in a couple of other things, but no one who is such a big star or such a big presence that their real life persona overshadows the character they're playing. So there's nothing that really distracted me from really engrossing myself in these characters and in the world that they inhabit. Ben O'Toole as Rex is so much fun. Okay, so this character is clearly a troubled guy, you know? We find out at a certain point in the movie, like, it's very clear from the trailer, so this isn't too big a spoiler, but he talks to himself. And not only does he talk to himself like the way that we talk to ourselves sometimes, like, no, he has hallucinations of himself that he works through his issues and problems and just day-to-day moments with. Like, the guy definitely has some psychological issues, and he goes to some extremely dark places, but at the same time, that interaction between him and himself is always very darkly humorous and incredibly charming. For a movie about a guy who basically just, like, killed a bank full of people, then went to prison, not a bank full of people, but a bank full of bank robbers, went to prison, and then gets kidnapped by a family, and then sets out to murder all of them after he finds out they're going to eat him. Like, he is an extremely charming character who it's really difficult for you to watch the movie and not become invested in on some level. Meg Fraser, who plays the young lady in the family who basically doesn't want to be part of the family, is likewise to Ben O'Toole. Like, she is just a lot of fun. Like, you can tell that she is not like the rest of her family. She's very caring of a younger sibling. She seems to be very caring of Rex right from the beginning. And again, while her character's really messed up and goes to some really dark places and has some darker moments, her character is really sweet and really endearing and really charming. And you really want to see Rex murder her family so that she can escape all of this. And, you know, there's also this great sequence where after she meets him for the first time, where she imagines him and her in a field and he's like spinning her around despite the fact that he's already missing a leg because they're gonna eat him, you see. It's fantastic. Both of these two actors do a fantastic job and really anchor the emotions of the movie, and the rest of the cast perform their roles perfectly. They don't really stand out as much, but they're not meant to stand out as much. They're meant to kind of be these ominous, quirky, creepy characters who are there more than anything else to facilitate the story of the two primary characters. So yeah, the cast all the way through is absolutely fantastic. So, for the music in the movie, the score is done by Brian Kasia. I'm almost positive I mispronounced that. But either way, it is a really good score. I had to go back and watch the movie a second time because whenever I was coming up with things to say about the movie, I was like, you know what, I didn't even really notice the music that much. But when I went back and was listening for the music specifically, there is a wide variety of music in this film, and it all is perfectly complementing the sequences, scenes, and transitions that are happening at that time. The reason why I didn't notice it is because it's perfect. It fits the mood and tone of this movie so well and really helps the narrative flow. It's not one of those scores that's trying to stand out, that's trying to give you a theme that you're going to remember for years to come. It is servicing the story. So that's the highest compliment I can pay it, that it worked so effectively that it managed to hone me into the specific emotion that was trying to be sold in every scene and every sequence without drawing attention to itself. And it was excellent. It worked absolutely perfectly. The movie's such a weird, oddball concoction of stuff thrown together, and somehow it balances out perfectly, and the music is a large part of why that works. So, I'm sure what you're asking yourself is, okay, so what didn't you like about the movie? Because Nerd Scum, you've always got plenty of things to say when it comes to bitching about stuff. But I'll be honest, guys, with this particular movie, I've watched it twice now. Once just to watch it, and then once I decided I wanted to make another video, I watched again, and I was really looking the second time around for things that I did not like, or things that bothered me. And while I won't say that this movie is absolutely perfect in every respect, there are definitely some issues here and there, and it's not going to work for everybody, I honestly have no complaints. It is such a weird concoction of super dark subject matter and super off the wall quirky comedy and this kind of just bizarre absurdist tone of kind of a twisted comedic fairy tale that, like, all the little things that a lot of times in a movie might throw me off don't, because again they're balanced so well in this. So again, I don't really have anything negative to say. All I can really say is I'm disappointed that I waited so long to watch this movie. It's been on my list of stuff to watch since it came out, like in January, at least here in the States, like when we all, finally got it. It's been on my list, and for some reason I kept putting it off, and I don't know why, because it's absolutely fantastic. As I said in the opening, it is a bloody hell of a good time, and I definitely recommend it to you guys. But, have you seen the movie? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please leave a like and share it with some friends. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you can check out all the dope content I have coming out here in the future. Thank you very much, children of the screen. I really hope y'all have a good one. Nerd Scum.